So the plan for this trip was to load the bikes up and head to the Scottish borders. The mission was to spend 2 nights in 2 separate bothies, the first being over Forehope and the second Green Sykes. I'd planned a route that was just shy of 60 miles long, and it would take us along forest tracks, quiet country lanes and a few miles of single track. So we started out along the Southern Upland Way, which is one of the most remote and least populated national trails. And we got lucky with the weather on day one. The sun was shining and it was around 15 degrees. Spirits were high, but our bikes were heavy, loaded with 3 days worth of supplies and a healthy ration of beer, wine and whiskey each. Everything was going to plan until the trail left the logging track. The frequent storms that had blown over the winter had left the path covered in fallen pines. So we scouted the area, but with no real plan B, we made the decision to remove some luggage and try our best to navigate the track.
Shit. Watch your footing here, man. Whoa. So that's us through the worst of it. You can see behind there lots and lots of down trees, but I brought the Laplander saw with me, so we were able to cut a passage through. And I'll just give you a look at the path ahead, which I think now is going to be fine. We'll be able to just wander up there, and then hopefully we'll get back onto the forest tracks and down to the bothy.
Well, that would prove to be wishful thinking. We were happy to get on the single track though and get back on the bikes after working our way through the woods. But we noticed that this track was only going in one direction, and that direction was up. So we had to endure a pretty tough section of hiker bike here, and we found ourselves racing against the setting sun.
You can see the sun setting over there, and we're still nowhere near the bothy hour.
We eventually made it back to the logging roads and arrived at the bothy with just enough light to spare. Tired and hungry, we prepped some food and then enjoyed the night with a well-earned drink. We shared the bothy that evening with a small group of D.A.V. students and a documentary filmmaker from Edinburgh University. The weather had changed for the second day. Strong winds and rain were forecast and the temperature was not much above freezing. In no hurry to get going, we took our time over breakfast. Our new friend Zoe filmed us for her pilot study. She was planning on filming a longer documentary on the subject of bothies.
So Lee, are you going to explain your first world problems?
Aye, I mean, I've searched all over the house the last couple of days, like for me spork. and this is all I could find. So yeah, trying to eat porridge with a fork isn't great, like, but we'll manage. I might have to drink it in a minute, I think. Slipping right through the fork, like. We'll get there. Yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet
you. Shortly after leaving the bothy, we had to stop and get some warmer clothing on. It was a sharp contrast to the warm sunshine we enjoyed the previous day. It's fair to say that neither of us were in good shape for this trip. It had been a long winter and this was our first real adventure. The footpath of doom the day before it had taken its toll, and the freezing temperatures and rain had really sapped not only our energy but also our spirit for the trip. As the day progressed, the rain eventually cleared. The sun came out and our high spirits were restored. We harvested some kindling and a few bits of dry pine, as we knew the temperature would drop below freezing again. But when we arrived at Green Sykes, it was well stocked with wood for the stove.
Can go like in there. Bunk beds up there, look. 3 sleeping spaces. You have 2 on here. We'll have that fire going tonight, like, mate.
Aye.
Firelight is up there. There's any in.
Excellent.
Looks
like there's a bit of wood there as well. A few cooking utensils. There's a few more rooms as well.
It's just got sleeping platforms in there.
Good sleeping area in there.
This one might be a better room to stay in, actually.
You
It's
think
smaller.
so?
Might keep the heat in,
Yeah, this is lovely,
yeah.
isn't
Fire
it?
here, mate. Dry sticks up. Aye. Unless you want a room each, like. Census records for the bothy. Shepherds. All shepherds.
That's 1881, isn't it?
There's the official census.
Green Sykes is a relatively new bothy. It was restored by the NBA in 2011, but the building had been home to shepherds and their families over the centuries before being abandoned around 1920 as the times changed. Every bothy I've ever visited gives you a kind of gentle reminder of how hard life was for those who lived in them. The isolation, the hardships, the weather, no electricity or running water. But these were also family homes, and I'm sure if you sat quietly for long enough, you would also hear the long gone echoes of laughter and joy that would have also been a part of family life in these lonely places.
So we're just rehydrating some food. We're a bit knackered, aren't we, mate? It's been a tough couple of days.
We're on our dehydrated disappointments, aren't we?
Yep. And I've just cracked open a beer. I've got a Northern Monk, and what is it? Peanut butter and jam stout, 8.4%. I've never had it, but Lee, you've had it, and you didn't really.
I mean, it was fine, but I struggled to drink too. Quite thick. It didn't live up to expectation anyway. So, see what you think.
We'll have a go. Looks alright. Well, I mean, looks how you would expect it to look. Oh.
No.
You get a really strong initial hit of peanut butter, don't you? The peanut's really strong in it.
Can I just have a smell of the cap? Just to remind me. See, it's quite jammy, like when you smell it. I'm not getting the peanut, like. maybe it's a taste thing.
Right.
But I remember it was a bit sort of overrated. Like when
I mean, there's a lot of flavours going on with that.
all the flavours.
Okay,
I
like
mean,
coffee, there's toffee.
I just don't know if it's really what you want in a beer. Really, I just picked it up off the shelf because it was somewhat different.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not buying it again.
Yeah, I mean, nice to try, but. Well, there you go. There's the beer review. Now it's time for the beer review song. 1, 2, 1.
Oh, so like,
Well, what's
we have a bit of hot chocolate in the bottom of this cup, but
whiskey on chocolate,
almost to make a turd, doesn't it?
Morning, second coffee. I think it's approaching 7:30, which is our deadline to get moving today. We've got about 22 miles to do with slightly more elevation than yesterday, and I think yesterday took us about 5 hours. Yeah, just definitely not making any sort of progress on these hills and on the tracks, but the bike should be lighter and we're going to set off early, so hopefully we can get back to the truck by lunchtime so we can get back home by mid-afternoon. That's the plans, but we'll see how we get on. But we had a cracking night last night in Green Sykes. No one else came through apart from a woman just as it was getting dark. She just popped her head in and asked if we could take a photo of her next to the fire, and then she left. But she's 67-year-old, so she's walking or visiting 67 BOTHIES in 67 days. Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. But other than that, an uneventful night. We just drank some, we had a beer each, wine, a little bit of whiskey, and then slept like a pair of logs. But we've got the bikes out here now. We're just going to get loaded up, filter a bit of water from the stream, and then crack on. So we're about halfway through the final day of this trip. So we've got another 11 miles to do, but we're going to be heading up into those hills now, so a bit more climbing. But Lee's had his, have you had your pork sausage?
No, we take a mar in a bit.
Alright, the old Mattison's smoked sausage.
Lee was doing some strange exercises for his tight hamstring, and then, well, disaster happened. Fueled by only half a sausage, it was back to pushing our bikes uphill again.
It's brutal, isn't it, mate?
Something else, like my legs have stopped.
We were following the Romans and Ravers route here, and after some brutal climbing, the downhill was unrideable. We had to guide our bikes down what was little more than a sheep track, before ending in a quiet valley, complete with an old ruin. We couldn't help thinking that the ruin would have made an excellent bothy. We had around 4 miles of fast downhill to get us back to where we'd left the truck. It had taken us 5 hours to cover 24 miles. But in hindsight, it was actually a great route. We were just lacking in fitness levels. But given that Lee hadn't ridden a bike much in 15 years, I think we'd done alright. But it was time to head back south and get the bikes cleaned up and get them ready for the next adventure.